Hello, this is TTIM TV. We are here at Manufacturing Expo 2013 and I'm talking to Uli Kaiser, the Business Development Manager for Southeast Asia for EMAG. Uli, thank you very much for speaking to us today.
Welcome.
We're going to be talking today about the challenges for the Thai automotive industry. The automotive industry in Thailand, it's major, and it's doing very well, but obviously, every industry faces challenges. Last year, 2012, the beginning of this year, has been amazing for the Thai automotive industry, and many people put down, the very, significant growth and output of the automotive industry last year down to the Thai government's first car buyer program. This program is about to end now. This is the last time for manufacturers to get these cars to the consumers. And some people are saying that, after this, the ending of this program, the demand is going to fall significantly, and this will affect the Thai automotive industry. How do you see the Thai automotive industry going forward in the next year to 2 years?
Mm-hmm. Okay, Nick. First of all, let's try to divide the questions. Sure. Automotive industry is obviously depending on domestic sales. And if you're talking about the first car buyers program, that's a domestic sales issue. But let's not forget that about half of the total output of the Thai automotive industry goes into export, which obviously is not affected by the first car buyers program at all.
Sure.
So I heard many people being pessimistic and thinking that the industry will kind of fall off a cliff, and it's like a like a populistic program.
Right.
I don't think so. I think it was a great program because after the flooding and after the earthquake and after the real bad year of 2011, it really helped to get the industry to maximum traction. Mm-hmm. It posed huge challenges for all the companies involved, and I do believe that the overall growth will continue. Maybe obviously not at the rate that it did from 2011 to 2012, but over the next 1, 2, 3, 4 years, I do believe we'll see a healthy growth.
Right. So you see, healthy growth over the next few years. But what challenges do you think that the automotive industry faces, and what does it need to do about these challenges?
Let's say challenges that are growth related are obviously again 2 categories. Mm-hmm. Let's say one is technology. Mm-hmm. In the past, Thailand has not been really on the forefront of manufacturing technology, and as a low-cost labor country, many times there were like old lines, old technology transferred here to produce at the lowest possible cost. Mm-hmm. So there's a challenge in upgrading and and getting the manufacturing base technologically on a world-class level. Mm-hmm. Second challenge is labor, and I think that's a very commonly known situation. We have an unemployment rate in Thailand of 0%. Mm-hmm. The only people who don't work are people who either don't want to work or are in between jobs. Mm-hmm. And to grow an industry at the rates that the at the rate that the capacity is about to increase will require labor that's currently not available. So that's a challenge.
Mm-hmm. So this labor challenge is quite big. What are maybe manufacturers that you work with, or companies that you hear about? What are they doing to deal with this challenge? If you can't get the people to, work the machines, how can you produce? What are people doing about this?
I'd say again, it's a multifaceted problem. It's not just I don't have a worker. Mm-hmm. Let's talk about some of the aspects very quickly. I'd say let's start with a cultural aspect or a humane aspect first. Times have changed. People are not the same as they were 10 or 20 years ago. Mm-hmm. 20 years ago it was maybe totally fine for a Thai operator to work and eat and sleep and facilitate children's education, and he was happy. Today we live in an age where everybody has a smartphone, everybody has access to multimedia, and the work ethic, or let's say the desire to work, is maybe not as strongly pronounced as it was in the past. The second thing is just the growth factor. Thai capacity has increased, has almost doubled over the last 5 years. The available labor supply hasn't doubled. We're kind of maxed out.
Yeah.
And so the solution for this problem can not be in hiring people from overseas. This is not going to happen. Thai government clearly put a position on limiting influx of foreign labor, AEC or not. The only solution is technology. Technology meaning replace labor-intensive processes by machine-intensive processes. And there is a huge potential in releasing human capital, people, from manual machines by implementing automated manufacturing technologies.
So you see a lot of Thai manufacturers in the automotive industry are looking a lot more at, automation and automating their processes.
Absolutely, across the board. I mean, if you talk to anyone, they're all hot on replacing manual loading by robotic loading or by gantry loading. Unloading is a big labor activity. Then more productive processes, replace maybe 3 medium productive machines by 1 highly productive machines.
Right.
And that's across the board. In the past, it used to be mainly the Western companies in Thailand who were using automotive, let's say, advanced technologies. Now it's it's across the board with the larger companies, and even the SMEs are getting into that now.
You mentioned the AEC, the ASEAN Economic Community, a little bit earlier. How will this affect the Thai automotive industry? What challenges do you think it will bring up, and what opportunities will it give to the Thai automotive industry?
My opinion is the AEC will bring about no change at all.
No change?
No. The situation, of course, there are challenges that the country faces. For example, English language. Thailand is probably the country in ASEAN, or in the future AEC, with the strongest challenge in improving English skill of the population. Right. But that is very well understood. That's yes. Nothing new. Sure. The Thai government has put in place a lot of programs, bringing in teachers, improving English at schools. So that's a big challenge. But it has nothing to do with AEC. I see it often mentioned in terms of, the AEC is coming, and that's a big. But I don't think the one has got to do with each other. We already have an economic, let's say, an economic union, or we have a common market. Let's be clear about this. Thailand, Indonesia, Malaysia, Vietnam, Philippines, and the other countries are already economically closely linked. Yeah. And the AEC in 2015, which is actually now being pushed backwards to 2016, if I heard that correctly.
The very end of 2015.
Or to the very end. I believe that will have, that as such will have no impact at all. That would really be of consideration. There's a lot of talk about it, but actually most of the AEC rules and regulations are already in place. It's not that the AEC is switched on. The AEC was already put in place, I believe like 5 or 10 years ago. Sure. There's already very minimum tariffs right now between the countries. We can import cars from Indonesia for very, very little tariff. So in my view, the AEC will have no special impact on the industry outside the general developments that we have in the world market.
What is the technical level of sophistication of your average Thai manufacturer, and what do they need to do to boost their productivity, the sophistication of their products? What do they need to do technically? What's the situation?
That's actually the question. What do they need to do? Right now, across the board in Thailand, the companies are using the famous Toyota manufacturing system, TMS, and that's a system developed in the 70s and 80s in Japan, and that describes a Nagari process of do, check, manufacturing.
Yes.
You break the manufacturing up in little operations, do them one by one, and have an operator check.
Yes.
Now, that works well when operators are available, but if you don't have operators, which we don't, which is a situation we are facing, you need to move to a different strategy.
Yes.
Making your end product independent of operator interference. Meaning, right now, the quality of the part depends on an operator. Almost every component in every Thai car has been visually inspected or manually inspected. If you go to Europe, you will find that many components are not inspected because the quality requirements there are so much higher, the tolerances are so much reduced that you just know you're making good parts. That's a process having to do with statistical process capability. If you are reducing your tolerance to about half of the print specifications, and if you manage to achieve it, you know you're making good parts. Then you measure maybe 1 part per hour instead of measuring every part. And that, I believe, is the key strategic change that has to happen in the auto industry. Go away from operator-dependent quality and operator-dependent output to operator-independent output and operator-independent quality. In the ideal world, you have a factory with one guy driving a forklift, bringing in raw parts to position A and picking up finished parts from in position B. Instead of having a factory full of people who are all busy loading, unloading, inspecting, washing, etc., etc.
So you mentioned about reaching this high level of product, product quality that you're making good products. What do Thai manufacturers have to do to go from maybe what many of them are doing now to achieving this level? What do they need?
I think it's quite simple. Right now, as they're doing the Nagari process, they work with expensive, simple machines. With inexpensive, simple machines. They have to change to expensive, complex machines, where the knowledge, where the know-how is actually delivered by the machine. Let me give you one example. In-process gauging. If you look at the current manufacturers, almost no machine has integrated quality control. Meaning a probe right inside the machine, not a probe outside where the operator has to gauge the part, but an automated process. Now, if you look at Europe, or if you look at our business, every machine we deliver has integrated quality program. And that's nothing special. That's technology that we developed about 20 years ago. So that's the kind of change. You were asking, what does the Thai manufacturer have to do? They have to abandon the thinking of buying $70,000 machines from Taiwan or Japan or Korea and should get more closer to the idea of buying more sophisticated integrated equipment that can relieve them of labor need.
So you say they need to buy more expensive machines, and many manufacturers are going to go, I can't afford to buy expensive machines. And you say expensive, but obviously you're talking about the initial costs. What are the profit benefits for a manufacturer of buying these, let's say higher priced machines?
That's a real
because that's at the end of the day,
business
that's
case.
What is important.
It's a business case. So you have capital investment, that's one cost, right? And when I said more expensive machines, it didn't mean that the total capital invest has to be higher. It's just that people here are used to buy the lowest cost equipment meeting quality requirements. So if you look, there are manufacturers here in Korat doing automotive parts that run 5 plants with 1,000 CNC machines. Now, and in the past, that was very prestigious, right? Because I'm the guy that runs 1,000 machines. So look, I'm big, right? But what if the capacity of the next, let's say, 10 years will double? Will the guy really like to buy another 1,000 machines with all the operator, maintenance, and facility requirements?
Sure.
And so when I said more expensive, I was thinking about one machine maybe, just a simple example, yeah? One machine, $300,000 versus 3 machines at $100,000. That's the choice. And in the past, the local culture was clearly buy the 3 machines. That's much better.
Yeah.
And I think that's what has to change.
Right. Uli, thank you very much. That was great. Thank you.